All right, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Unbettable Pod. It is your boy Holmes hosting today with my man Gary. Gary, how are we doing today, brother? It's just me and you.
Chilling, chilling. We don't have the almighty D's watching over the kids today, so we
I
gotta
know.
make something work.
You're damn right we do. You're damn right we do. We do not know where Mondo is today. That is okay. Well deserved day off for the boy. So we'll see him next week. But today we're going to continue to highlight NFL Incentive Week. We're going to go over some of the incentive props, see if they're out yet on the Hard Rock Bet app, and see if we can lock some of those bets in early. And then we're also going to take a look at some rushing and receiving props that we might want to take a look at for players that are just a little bit short of that 1,000 yards on the season. So we're going to take a look at that and then also cover some NBA for tonight. I don't know if you have any plays, Garrett, but I got a ton of plays to drop in the NBA tonight.
All right.
All right, let's get right into it. We did the entire NFL recap pretty much last show. We went over all the games. This is going to be a hard week to bet games, pretty much. It's going to be a hard week to bet sides. With this being incentive week, there's a lot of teams that aren't really playing for anything. There's a bunch of teams that are still fighting for playoff spots. So it is going to be really, really wonky this week. But we also talked about it last pod. We got to take advantage of the incentives. We got to take advantage of those players out there that have so much opportunity to be able to make money this week. So, Gare, if you don't mind, if you can pull up the Hard Rock Bet app on your phone, we're going to try and go through these and see if any of these lines are available. For the cheat sheet we went over last time, and then we're going to go through some rushing and receiving props we might want to take a look at as well. So let me go ahead and pull up that cheat sheet we were talking about last time. I know there's some good ones we want to target. All right, the first one I don't even need to ask you because I know this is not even on Hard Rock yet. OBJ props are not up. There are barely any props up for the Ravens right now. I don't understand that. That's very stupid.
Yeah.
Gary, can you check the prop for Chris Jones to get 1 sack for the Chiefs? I think that one could be a very good one to take a look at.
Kansas City. We're gonna go to
Who do they play this week? Who do they play this week, Gary?
they're playing the Chargers.
Chargers.
hmm They don't even have player props out.
Damn, damn. We're really gonna get screwed on a lot of these games, aren't we?
Yeah. They have like all these, random game things like first team to touch or score a touchdown, but no player props.
Damn. Yeah, so the next one was going to be Austin Eckler. So if you said there's no props available, we can, I guess, skip that too. Um, all right, I just saw this and we can talk about this. I wouldn't take this, and I don't know if you would either, but I saw that DeAndre Hopkins receiving prop was at 61 and a half. He only needs 49 yards to get a million. You're not taking the over 61 and a half there. But would you be tempted to try and take the under, knowing that if he just barely like gets over that 50, they might just pull him and it might just that's it.
I mean, look who they're playing though. I mean, the Jags defense obviously hasn't been where they would like it to be. Neither is their offense. But I also think this is a big comeback area for the Jags.
Hmm.
Um, so I feel like the over is not unrealistic, but like you said, I mean, Titans can't clinch a berth, can they?
That's a good question, actually. I'm gonna take a look at where they're standing right now. As honestly, I don't watch a whole lot of Titans because I just in my mind believe that they're ass.
Yeah.
No, they have been eliminated. They're at the bottom of the division. They're 5-11. Yeah, it's Jacksonville, Indy, and Houston all 9-7 in the AFC South right now. The Tennessee Titans are the worst team in that division. They just could not win a game on the road this year. They've been horrible.
So like hypothetically, I mean, I feel like the way D Hop has been balling out for the Titans, this might be a place where he can be like, fuck you and destroy the Jags if he really wanted to.
Okay.
Because I feel like, I mean, what's the sense in pulling them? Like, even if he gets hurt, he has an entire off season, which I doubt would happen. Um, he doesn't really have anything after this, so what does he have to lose?
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I think you're talking me into it as we speak because like I guess I didn't really know too much about where the Titans stood and just seeing that they were eliminated. Yeah, I mean, I guess why wouldn't he play? Like why wouldn't they try to ruin their division rivals' chances of making the playoffs?
Yeah.
Um and I just saw down here on this cheat sheet too. He needs 7 catches for an extra 250K. So like I don't think they're doing a lot of dink and dunk with DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, if he's trying to actually get 7 catches and get that extra money, I feel like he's totally going to go over 61 and a half. Now I'm talking myself into it too.
Yeah.
Like shit, I might want to bang that. That'd be really nice to take. Cause I didn't get to look, but can you see what DeAndre Hopkins' alternate receiving yards are? Like, do they have the 50 plus for him? Is he alive for that? Because that's obviously the safe one to take, but it's probably juiced. Yeah.
Alternate receiving yards. So we got D Hop 25 plus minus 1500, 50 plus minus 230, 100 plus plus 300.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, I'm not taking 100. I
No, definitely not. But the
feel like
50
50
plus is,
though.
yeah, that's interesting. I mean, minus 230, that's definitely worth putting with another play and just making that maybe like a same game parlay, but I don't really know what else I would take in that game. Um, that's a tough one because I don't know anything that I have on here. I don't have anything I think Jaguars related incentive wise. I'm gonna take a look here. Okay, this is interesting, and we were gonna get to this. Travis Etienne, he is at 951 rushing yards on the year. Needs 49 rushing yards to get 1,000. Check on Travis Etienne, see what his alternative rushing yards are. If that's 50 plus, those might be two good ones to put together incentive wise for this game.
Yeah, that's what I was about to touch on. So 50 plus for him is minus 160 right now.
Ooh, that's a good price.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if he goes crazy, 100 plus, you got it at plus 600, which is kind of nuts. I don't really
Wow.
wouldn't take that, but the 50 plus is enticing now.
No, absolutely. Would it if you could same game put both of those together on the Hard Rock? What are your odds on that? You have to be getting at least like a tinge of plus money, and I think it's worth it to put those two together.
Mm,
It might be on the cusp, might be like minus 105 or something.
so there you are. What the fuck? Hold on 1 second.
Your app crashing on you, Gary?
No, I was looking at an NBA play earlier and I had it put in
Oh, okay. True, true, true.
alternate rushing, bang, bang. So, hey guys, can we parlay this, please?
All right, Gary, I got it. I got it. I put it together. You
Bro,
can you got to hit the same game parlay button on the top before you do the two plays. I know that's what you did because I do that all the time. All the time.
I was tripping.
Okay, but plus 150, Gare, I I might lock that in right now, bro. I did not think we were gonna get as much value as plus 150. I thought maybe you get like a plus 110, plus 120 spot there. I really like that. What say you?
I say book it.
We say book it. Let's do it, bro. We're gonna put that down on the sheet. Gare and I, official play, we're riding that. Two-way parlay, 50 plus rushing yards for Travis Etienne and 50 plus receiving yards for DeAndre Hopkins. Etienne needs 49 rushing yards to get to 1,000, and DeAndre Hopkins needs 49 yards to get a mill. All right, that's pretty hype. We're able to put that together. This is exactly why we do the pod, trying to put together these value plays, talking through this shit. Um, this one's kind of weird. Darius Slayton only needs 1 catch for the Giants for $2.5 million. I'm pretty sure that whatever prop is going to be out for that game, if there is one, I mean, it's probably going to be pretty juicy. And along the lines with your logic of Titans, like the Giants don't really have much to play for either. So uh they play in the Eagles. Yeah, they're definitely gonna want to play spoiler to the Eagles as well. So I mean I can see them actually trying to get a dub against Philly. And they're at
Yeah,
home too.
yeah. I mean, they just have his yards. They don't have like receptions.
Okay. Yeah, I figured I don't it's just a lot of these games are not putting out those reception props. And I think it's for this reason is they know how many people are focusing on the incentive stuff this week. So they're trying to mitigate how much money they're gonna lose this weekend on
Yeah,
these plays.
literally.
um we talked about Geno Smith and Jordan Love. Both of them make additional money if their teams win and they make the playoffs. So Gino makes an extra $2 million if they make the playoffs, and Jordan Love makes an extra $500,000 if they make the playoffs. Which 500K is still a lot of money to Jordan Love because he's a young dude. He ain't getting paid that much.
Yeah.
So, um, of the two, you got Green Bay money line minus 165 at home against the Bears, and you got the Seahawks on the road against Arizona at minus 150. Gare, if you had to pick between both of those plays, which one would you take and why?
So we're talking about Green Bay or the Seahawks, correct?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Um, Seahawks on the road in Arizona or Green Bay at Lambeau versus Chicago. I feel like the Green Bay Chicago rivalry is one that is like deeply rooted in NFL history. Um, so that could potentially cause a little bit of a flare up. And then you have on the other hand, Seattle, Arizona. Arizona clutched up and got a huge win over the Eagles last minute. But they are still a pretty shitty team. So if I had to take a play, I would take Seattle -3 over Arizona. I wouldn't even touch the money line. I feel like -3 is definitely coverable over Arizona. Arizona literally has nothing to play for. They've been knocked out since halfway through the season. Um, yeah, I like Seattle -3 over Arizona.
Okay. Yeah, that's very fair. I was about to say both spreads are the same. They're both favored by three, both minus 105 as well. Yeah, I'm leaning towards Seattle as well. I might make Seattle money line an official play. Kind of just for the same reasoning you just gave. I think that rivalry even being in Green Bay, I mean, Justin Fields and the Bears, I think, are playing a lot better down the stretch. They're starting to put it together a little bit, figuring it out a little bit more on offense. That defense is stepping up and putting a lot more effort, I think, than people are giving them credit for, especially here down the stretch. And Green Bay, we've just seen like they're just susceptible at all times to catching an L. I mean, they were this close to losing to the Panthers a couple weeks ago. I just think that is totally a game where I can see the Bears coming in, getting a close win against Green Bay, and it's a very regrettable play there. But I do like the Seahawks on the road. Like Arizona gets a good win against the Eagles, but I think they might be riding a little bit high off that. I agree with you. They're still like a shitty team, dude. I think Seattle has the advantage over them in terms of talent, and I think they can go in there and get a win. The spread, I could be tempted to touch, but I think for the safer play for me is I'll probably just jump on the money line. But good shit right there, Gary. I love to hear that. This is a big one that I wanted to get your take on too. Dalton Schultz for the Texans. Tight end needs 4 catches for an extra 250K and 6 catches for 500K. And we know the reception props have not really been there. But is there anything out there for Dalton Schultz? Because this is a game where we know the Texans are going to be playing hard. They're at Indianapolis. These teams are playing for a spot in the playoffs. So both are going to be playing very hard. I expect Schultz to get a lot of action. He has been one of Stroud's favorite targets this year.
Okay, so we do actually have a reception prop for Dalton Schultz.
Hello.
Under 4.5. Over is going to be +110. Under is going to be -145.
Okay. So how do you feel about that? Because low key, I'm kind of leaning toward the over there for the plus money. Because I know he gets that incentive getting 4. but he also gets another one to get 6. I feel like this is an instance where he could totally land at 5. And they might be trying to like force feed him the ball to get 6, but I could see him landing at 5. I don't know why. It's just a weird, call it a Gary gut feeling, if you will. But I don't know. I just think it could land at 5.
Um, yeah, man. I mean, I feel like, coming off the injury, why am I not able to remember the Texans quarterback name right now?
CJ Stroud.
Yeah, Stroud, sorry. Coming off an
I
injury, might be trying to take it light, throw some slants in there instead of some huge plays.
Mhm.
Um, and if you're gonna go for a slant type of game, your tight end is gonna be right there for you. Um, and I feel like Stroud coming in as a new player might be trying to make some buddies on the team. And I think a surefire way to make a friend is by allowing them to hit a fat bonus on their final paycheck. Um, so
For
I don't think the over here is something that is astronomical to think could happen, and it's plus money. So even if you throw a little five piece on there, it hits, it doesn't, it's $5, keep it pushing. It's not
mhm.
something to bet the house on, but I think a little sprinkle is due on that one.
Yeah, I agree with you. I like the reasoning there. I think it's definitely worth at least a little something if you're getting that plus money value there, and he's got those incentives on the line. Like, why not just put it out and see if he can get it? Like, yeah, why CJ Stroud trying to get his boy paid? Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Um, Okay. Also, one we wanted to touch on because we are Bucks fans. Levante David, he needs one more sack to get 150K extra. I mean, this guy's been in the league a long time. Money is probably not like the biggest issue to this guy, but he plays with a lot of pride. He always plays hard. He's been one of the anchors of our defense for years and years. Is a sack prop up for Levante David? Because if it is, and if it is nice, I don't know about you, Garrett, but I'm gonna hammer that shit.
Uh, Looking through it right now. Nope, it is not there.
Damn.
What is
Damn.
good with Hard Rock and these props, man?
I'm telling you, man, they know that we're targeting this stuff, and that is the problem. They are not making it easy on us.
Might be a week to bet with a bookie, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly. I was gonna say I might start looking through my Fliff props again because I know Fliff will have that shit up. So it might be worth it to take some of my free dollars in Fliff and bet on there. Uh what about we talked about Jadavian Clowney. He also needs one sack for 750K. Is this sack prop up for Jadavian Clowney? And I'm sorry because I'm blanking on what team he plays for. He's been bouncing around for so long. He's on the Ravens. He's on the Ravens. So they play Saturday night.
Let's see here. Player props. Interception. Ooh, we do have sacks.
Interesting.
Not for the Ravens.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, that's
Dude, what is
just
good with that? Nobody?
nobody for the Ravens. The only thing I saw for the Ravens was like Tyler Huntley passing yards, and that's not something I'm really gonna target or care too much about. The dude probably will rush more than he'll pass, if I had to guess. These are two we can quickly discuss. I don't know if you're going to target either of these. I'm probably not. Devin Singletary needs 165 yards for 125K, and Alexander Madison needs 125 yards for 650K. It's a lot of yards for two guys that I don't really think have the potential to get there. What do you think about that?
Yeah, Singletary, I have him on my fantasy team, so I see how that goes. I think Stroud is definitely kind of a big play kind of guy. I mean, like I was saying earlier though, with the logic of the slants, they could try to, keep the ball on the ground a little bit. But that number is really, really high. I mean, that's like record-setting numbers. And then what was the second one?
Alexander Madison to go for 125.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like as Minnesota's season's gone on, I mean, of course, their team has gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. But I also feel like Madison has gotten worse and worse and worse. Just the way they used him. I mean, in the beginning, it was just like any kind of run play they were doing, they were feeding it to him. And now he's more of a secondary option in their mind on their offense.
Totally.
And again, that's a super high number. So I wouldn't take either of those.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I don't really think either of those guys have a whole lot of potential to reach those numbers. They're just a little too high for me. Not willing to touch those. Um Damn, one that I wanted to check up on was Bud Dupree. He needs 2 sacks for $1 million for the Falcons. His sack prop is not up, but this is kind of interesting. Calais Campbell, who also plays for the Falcons, he needs 3 sacks to get an extra 500K. His sack prop is up, but it's over 0.5 for plus 110. Bro, this fuck, I hate to say this, dude, but this seems like a
Trappy.
massive trap. Yeah. Because I know I've watched Saints games just being a Bucks fan. I have watched the Saints play a lot this year. Their offensive line has not been good. Derek Carr gets hurt a lot. I mean, they give up a ton of pressures, a ton of sacks. I mean, this spot screams Calais Campbell over 0.5 sacks for plus 110. The opportunity to make money here. And for some reason, it just seems like they're baiting you in trying to take this. I don't know if I can do it, Gare. It's really tempting, but I don't know if I can.
He needs three for a mil, right?
3 for half a mil, not even a mil.
Okay, I mean half a mil still.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it does scream trap, but this is kind of where betting becomes betting. Less, it becomes less of a thinking strategic thing and more of a bet.
Yeah.
And the Saints have played shitty all year, but the way they played against the Bucks offensively last week was like a masterclass.
Hmm.
Um, but he's going to be thinking about that money the entire time.
Yeah.
That might be one where I sprinkle on it. I don't know if I would hammer it, but I would sprinkle it. Because, I mean, it's like one of those things where, if you miss out on it, you're going to be kicking yourself. But
Hmm.
if you bet big on it, then you're going to be like, fuck.
Yeah.
So I would bet like a unit on it. I would take a unit on it.
That's fair. I think it's worth maybe a little bit of a flyer. I don't even know if I would put a unit on it. Maybe just go for like a half or something. Is just for some reason I just think they're just baiting me into trying to take that, and I just don't want to fall victim to that trap. But yeah, like you said, maybe you just got to go for it because he is going to be thinking about that money. It's 1 sack. It's one's like you tell me you can't get 1 sack. I don't know. I'll have to do maybe a little bit of Calais Campbell research on my end. But that is the cheat sheet that we went over in the last episode. If you want to rewatch that episode, we go over it a little bit more in depth with Mondo. But now I think we should go through a little bit of the receiving and rushing props, maybe that we should think about for guys that are just short of 1,000 yards that have the chance, I think, to be able to reach that mark this season in this last game. It's a good thing to have on their resume. 1,000 yard seasons. These are things that guys really, really try to go for. So this should be something we can try and target hopefully this last week. Um, David Montgomery only needs 25 rushing yards to hit 1,000. So I feel like his alternate rushing prop has to be up, right? I mean, if it's only Jameer Gibbs, I'm going to be kind of pissed about that. But I'm going to look right now.
It is
Alternate rushing yards.
I'm pretty sure it's only Jameer.
And you are correct. It is only Jameer Gibbs. God, I would love to take that, but of course they're screwing us with that. So we must go on to the next scare.
They are one
Bijan,
step ahead of us on this one.
I know, right? Bijan Robinson, he needs 52 yards to get 1,000 on the ground in his rookie year. That would be really, really big for him, especially how much scrutiny he has gotten under Arthur Smith this year in that offense. What is his alternate rushing prop 50 plus if that is up for the Bijan? Meanwhile, I am going to check up on Tony Pollard, which we'll touch on in a second. Oh, his is not out. All right, maybe
So
check up on.
Bidon has a primary and also an alternate. So
Hmm.
primary is going to be over under 57.5. Alternate, you can get 50 plus at minus 210 or
Hmm.
100 plus at plus 425. I mean, only 7.5 more, and you're, you know, taking way less of a pay cut on that one.
Yeah, it's really tempting, honestly, because I know they're setting that 57 and a half prop there because they know he only needs 52. So are they trying to like middle us right there and have him get like 55 and we just lose out on that over bet? But um, I mean, for as juicy as that is for 50 plus, I think maybe that 7.5 might be kind of worth it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, because you're taking it from minus 210 to minus 115.
Hmm.
So it's like, and I mean, I feel like that game's going to be a dogfight.
Oh,
That
yeah.
saying.
Oh, totally.
So I mean, I feel like, both team might just resort to the running game. Um, so I feel like it's not unreasonable to take, honestly.
All right. That's cool. It's not out of the realm of possibility. We'll have to keep our eye on that. I did just check up on Tony Pollard and Isaiah Pacheco. Both need 65 yards to hit 1,000 on the ground. Neither prop is up for them right now, which kind of sucks. Joe Mixon and Najee Harris, they both need 77 yards on the ground to get 1,000. I know Steelers props are out because I've been checking the Steelers and Ravens game this whole damn time. Najee Harris 50 plus is minus 260. I kind of like maybe parlaying that with something. His regular line is at 61 and a half. And I kind of like that too, actually. For minus 110, again, he needs 77 to get to 1,000. I mean, thank you. Thank you. My girlfriend, fantastic, putting the light on out here, starting to get dark. Um, but what do you think about the Najee play over 61 and a half? If he needs 77 to get to that 1,000, again, we don't know if any incentives are on the line here. We're just going solely off of them trying to get the 1,000 mark season.
What's the line at? Or like,
It's at 61 and a half minus 110 to the over.
bro, see, this is like where it's getting tricky because I feel like there's a lot of people like us right now thinking the same exact shit. And
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like, you're keeping it 16 yards under what he actually needs. I feel like a lot of people are going to be trying to look for an alternate line that actually matches an over that's closer to that record-setting number.
yeah,
Um, this is one of those ones where I would sprinkle on it just because I feel like it's definitely possible, especially because half the Ravens roster is probably going to be out for this game.
true.
Um, because they're locked in.
Yeah.
And the Steelers are trying to make a name for themselves. So I feel like that's one that I would take.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there. I'm trying to look at his rushing stats on the season. For a little bit of insight and like matchup wise, the past two games he has gotten pretty much most carries that he's gotten all season. He got 19 carries against Cincinnati that is tied previously for his season high against Las Vegas, which was back in week 3. Then the next week he got 27 carries, which was his new season high against Seattle. He got 78 rushing yards and 122 rushing yards respectively in both of those games. But before that, it was like 33, 29, 63, 99, 35. It's very up and down from week to week. And then the one thing that deters me a little bit too, the last time they played Baltimore at home, he only rushed for 37 yards on 14 carries. So he definitely got stood up by a very good Baltimore defense. But I'm leaning toward the over too because of what you said. I mean, the Ravens have to be sitting a lot of guys, right? They're the number one seed. They have to be getting ready to host a playoff game and get ready to make a deep run in the playoffs. I mean, we know that most of the offensive players are not going to be playing. We have to assume that most of the defensive starters are probably going to do the same, right?
Yeah,
So I think I'm going to be with you here. Like the Najee over, I think seems like a nice play to take.
yeah. I mean, especially because, being a running back, you're going to be taken out if you're going to make a big game, mostly by those secondary guys, and those secondary guys are the ones that make the big plays. Um, so I feel like those guys will probably be out. So I feel like it's not unreasonable to take that.
Absolutely. A couple more I want to touch on with you. This one is a little bit more difficult. Saquon Barkley, he is at 916 rushing yards on the year, so he needs 84 more for 1,000. His over prop for rushing is 62 and a half at minus 115, but he does face the Eagles. Very, very good rush D. Eagles have been slipping and sliding in the past few weeks, so I don't know if this is a spot where I would necessarily try and take a Saquon over here because I don't know how well he is going to perform against that Eagles front.
Yeah, I would take the under, honestly. I wouldn't actually I wouldn't even touch it because I mean the Eagles are there. I mean, sorry, my roommate's blowing up my phone.
Oh, you're good.
Eagles are there. But the Giants really don't have anything to play for. And the way the Giants have kind of played all season is like that of a selfish kind of team. You got all these wide receivers running these extravagant routes with a quarterback that can't complete those plays. Um, they're just such a weird team, bro. Like because they'll have this crazy run with this Italian mafia man, and then next week they're just getting shit on.
Yeah,
So I honestly wouldn't even touch that.
fair, very fair. Uh, um, One that I definitely wanted to discuss with you again, Bucks fans. Rashad White, he is at 915 on the season. He needs 85 more yards for 1,000. Is he gonna get that this week? Because I'm gonna tell you why I think he might. He's had a few 100-yard games in the past several weeks. He's had a few 80-yard games past several weeks. But I think this is a good scenario where if the Bucks go up big against the Panthers, they're going to just keep feeding Rashad White, trying to get him to that 1,000-yard mark. They're really going to try and get him there. That's my basic analysis on it. I'm going to look at the prop right now, but what do you think about Rashad White? Is that worth taking against Carolina this week?
I love Rashad White, bro.
Yeah,
Honestly, like, thank you, Rashad, for giving the Bucks the season they've had this year. I mean, honestly, without him, bro, like, I really don't know where we would be. Like, he has turned the run game up. Like the first couple weeks, we saw the Bucks. They were trying to run the ball a lot, and we were going nowhere.
yeah,
And he's really cranked it up and changed the culture, and I'm thankful to him for that. And I think it's not unrealistic to think that we're going to try to run up a check against the Panthers. Like, after what happened last week, bro, like, this should look like, I hate to say it, but it should look like, a Georgia FSU game. At least I hope that's what it's going to look like. So I feel like it's not unreasonable to take them. I feel like the Panthers are the only thing is the Panthers do sometimes, like Mondo was saying, run that five-man front,
hmm
which could potentially cause a little bit of blockage up front, but also if he gets past that front, he's free in the backfield.
fact,
Um, and I also think the defenses have been trying to lock up Mike Evans by putting him in like triple coverage. I mean, if you're gonna put five people up front, put three people on Mike, like I feel like as soon as he gets past that line, he's free.
yeah.
So I feel like I would take it. And that's also because I'm a fan, but I would take the over there.
I mean, I can't say I would disagree with you, bro. Why wouldn't we take him as fans? I know we're not supposed to be homers. We're supposed to bet with our brain and not with our heart. But god damn it, we love the Bucks, bro. And Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Look, I'm not gonna bet on the side because when I bet on the side, shit goes wrong. But when I'm betting on props, I feel a little bit more confident, especially in these games. And he's at 70.5 right now. I mean, I would love to smash the over there for -110. Again, we've talked about it. He had a couple 80-yard games, couple 100-yard games. He's been turning it up lately. You're goddamn right. It was tough in the beginning. Felt like he wasn't getting anything going on the ground, but once they started getting him going in the passing game a little bit, that has opened him up in the rushing game. He's starting to actually prove himself as a legit back for the Bucks. So I am right there with you. Very proud of what he has done for the team so far this year, given the struggles that he faced early on
Yeah.
for real. So yeah, I think I'm with you on there. I'll fuck it, bro. I'm gonna lock that shit in right now. Rashad White over 70.5 rushing yards. We're going for it. Rashad White, I hope you get 1,000 this week, brother. This is for you, my man. And then the last one I wanted to touch on with you, we touched on David Montgomery, how close he is to 1,000. Jameer Gibbs is also close to 1,000. He's at 915 too. He is at the same mark that Rashad White is. Again, we same as Bijan Robinson. This would be big. His rookie year, he gets 1,000 yards on the ground. That's absolutely massive for a guy like this. And his rushing prop, because we know David Montgomery wasn't up. His rushing prop is at 55.5, dude. I really, really love that. And I think I would hammer that over as well. I think they're going to utilize him a lot here in this game.
Yeah, I mean, who are the Lions playing this weekend?
They were playing at home against the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay. Yeah, I would book it 100%. I think that when Montgomery went down, Jameer Gibbs was their go-to man. And I also feel like since Montgomery has come back, Gibbs has still stayed a very close second option when it comes to running the ball. I mean, of
Hmm.
course, Montgomery is their main man, but like whenever he was out, Jameer was right there to fill in for him, if not do better.
True.
Uh, and I love how young and talented this Lions offense is. I mean, they have so many young guys that have made such big names for themselves just over the past couple of years. I feel like it's a great way for them to kind of show who they are, give the young man the ball, show them what they can do. And then also, thinking from a strategic standpoint about how they want to make a run in the playoffs, they could potentially be using Montgomery less just because he is their starter. So I feel like it's not unreasonable to take the over there.
Sure. I love that. I love that. All right, so that's all the running backs I wanted to go through. We'll quickly go over some wide receivers. There's nowhere near as much that I think there's not as much value with the receivers as there was for the running backs that we can see. There's a good amount. There's 24 receivers so far this year that have already eclipsed 1,000 yards. There's a few within the 900 range that I think might be worth talking about. Travis Kelsey is at 984. We've talked about it. The Chiefs props are not up yet. If he just needs, a little under 20 yards to get it, I'm pretty sure he's going to get that. It's probably not worth taking anything that's super juicy on that. And then Chris Godwin, he is actually 27 yards away from 1,000 yard season as well. But his 25 plus receiving prop is -900. So that's probably not worth taking and putting that with anything. Um, TJ Hawkinson is close, but he's on IR for the rest of the year, unfortunately. I think the three that are kind of compelling that we can talk about: Terry McLaurin, he is 54 yards away from 1,000. Rashee Rice, the rookie, is 62 yards away from 1,000. And Calvin Ridley, in his first season back after the betting suspension, is 90 yards away from 1,000. So Rashee Rice, we could probably skip for now. That is a prop that I'm going to try and keep my eyes on if the Chiefs props ever get released. But Terry McLaurin, maybe like a 50 plus, and then Calvin Ridley. What do you think about either of those trying to go for 1,000 this week?
Bro, I mean, like Ridley, he came back with a vengeance. And I love to see it. Of course, us being, avid avid bettors here. It sucks that he did what he did. But it is what it is, and I like how he kind of put that behind him.
Mhm.
But again, bro, Jacksonville, just the way they've been playing the past couple weeks, you said he needs 90.
Yeah.
I I don't know, with the way that team uses ETN like all the time, it kind of reminds me of like the way the Niners use McCaffrey. Like they would rather feed it to him because they know he's just gonna be brain dead the entire time and run through anybody in his path.
Yeah.
And T-Law, he has not been on the mark at all when it comes to passing. He's put up quite a few interceptions the past few games, at least from what I've seen. So I feel like that is I would stay away from that. And then we were talking about who else?
Terry
Terry.
McLaurin.
Yeah. Um, this is just another one of those things where I kind of feel bad because he just plays for a shitty team. Like
Yeah,
playing
for
for the
real.
Commanders, like they're just like they're like the epitome of mid. Like if I had to put them in a category, they are top tier mid, like and not in a good way. I mean, 4-12 on the season. You're going to go up against arguably the best defense in the league with the Cowboys. Um, and Dallas is projected -13. So obviously Vegas isn't thinking they're going to be doing much scoring, but he only needed like 50, right?
Yeah, he needs 54 to get there.
54. I mean, I don't know. Hmm. I feel like it's not something that I would say is unrealistic. They are playing at home, so Dallas does kind of shit the bed on the road. But it's also not something I would bet the house on. So
Yeah,
I'll give it a sprinkle. We'll just say that. That's at a sprinkle kind of level bet.
sure. I put a couple things together. I don't know if this tempts you at all, but I put both players, Ridley and McLaurin, both to just get 50 plus receiving yards on the day. McLaurin is -185 and Ridley is -145. Now, obviously, I feel a little safer with McLaurin because the Commanders pass the time no matter if they're going to be down big, they're going to pass the fuck time. They've been doing it all season. Sam Howell's been slinging the pill. I think McLaurin's gonna get his looks, and I get it. There's been games this year where that guy just has not even gotten targeted, and it's been a ridiculous tragedy for the amount of talent that he has. Um, but I think this is a great opportunity to be able to get him to that milestone in a season where not much has gone right for the team. So help a brother out, help him get to 1,000. So I like McLaurin there. Obviously, Ridley with the same thing that you said, that offense has been so up and down. I think we expected a lot more from them, and it's really hard to trust that offense in passing situations right now. So that one I feel a little more worried about. But if you put both of those together, you get +160. It's not bad in terms of a sprinkle, like you said. I think it might be worth a little something, something. Um, because Ridley to get 90 yards, I think might be a little bit of a stretch. I mean, he could totally go off and get that, no problem. But I feel like I'd feel a lot safer just doing 50 plus, seeing if he can get that bare minimum and help me cash out on this parlay.
All right.
All right, I think that's good shit, Garrett. I think that's great shit. We gave the people a lot of information. We
Yeah.
went over a lot of different good props to keep your eye on for this weekend. Again, if you want to find any of this information, just literally go to ESPN.com, check out all the stat leaders for receiving, passing, rushing. Just take a look at different milestones, what players are trying to reach for this last season or last week of the season. This is the last chance for a lot of these players to get the milestones that they're trying to achieve this season. So definitely keep an eye on that. But Garrett, to round out the show, I think we should give the people some NBA picks.
I agree. I only have one.
All right. Well, let's hear it. I want to hear yours first.
Um, so this is a kind of a Hard Rock promo. So if you're rocking with Hard Rock, like we are, you should be at least because it's legal. It's the
Yes, sir.
safest way to place your money somewhere. They have a special out right now tonight for Miami versus Phoenix. Any Miami Heat player records 30 plus points, and the odds are at +150. Um, if you're a big SoFlo sports guy, I feel like this is not something that you should look past. I feel like 30 plus points is not unrealistic at all with the way the NBA has been rolling, getting these huge game totals every single game. Um, I feel like it's definitely worth a look. And then also, oh, I just muted myself. Um, Hard Rock for me is that I don't know about you, but they're doing a no regret bet for a same game parlay tonight, up to
Yes, sir.
$10.
Yes,
So I
sir.
also think that's something to look into. But let's hear it, Hart. Let's see what you got.
Well, yeah, first of all, I want to say I think that is a great play for the boost on the Heat. I mean, take advantage of some of these boosts that they give you if you're rocking with the Hard Rock app. Not all of them are going to be great. They're going to put some shitty ones out there that you got to just move past and ignore. But I think that's a good play for a couple of reasons tonight. Number one, they're playing the Suns. Not a great defensive team. I think it's going to be pretty high scoring. And then number two, you still don't have Jimmy Butler playing tonight. He's still out. That means increased usage for Tyler Hero, increased usage for Jaime Jaquez Jr., who has been an amazing rookie sensation for the Heat this year. There's a lot of opportunity for guys to be able to step up and score some points tonight. And who knows, even Duncan Robinson, that dude gets hot from three. I mean, he could drop 40 on your head easily. So I do like that play. If you're getting some plus money boosts there, totally worth the sprinkle. So good play, Gare. I love that shit. Um, you talked about the no regret same game parlay. They're giving these out almost every night. Take advantage of these. I mean, it doesn't have to be $10, it's up to $10, be anywhere from $1 to 10. But if you lose, they give you that money right back in a bonus bet as soon as it loses. If you win, obviously you keep the money. But that bonus bet is so worth it to be able to use, especially if you're just betting regularly on these NBA games or NHL games from night to night. So the same game parlay I got is a two-way parlay. It's DeJounte Murray over 4.5 assists and Aaron Nesmith over 1.5 threes made. Nesmith has been actually pretty nice from three, and the Pacers have been scoring a ton of points. So that's why I'm riding with that. And I'm telling my boy Kyle with the DeJounte Murray over 4.5 play for the Hawks. Again, kind of the same reasoning I had for Trae Young the other night. Even though he did not hit that prop, Hawks play very fast paced, just like the Pacers play a lot of offense, not a lot of defense. So I like DeJounte Murray to go over the assist there. Other than that, I got 6 different props tonight. I'll give you the odds with them. So if you want to parlay any of these, if you want to play them straight, they're all different types of odds. So I'll let you know what we got riding tonight. The juiciest one I got is Spencer Dinwiddie over 0.5 steals and blocks. It's minus 220. So you can put that with another play. He is playing the Nets, or he is playing the Thunder tonight. I also have Miles Turner over 1.5 blocks. That's minus 155. I got Colin Sexton over 15.5 points for the Celtics. He's been getting a ton of usage out there for the Jazz. That's minus 110. So that's a good one to take straight. Another good one to take straight is Derek White over 16.5 points as minus 105. Derek White just also getting a ton of usage for the Celtics and having a great year. A guy that should be, if he's not already, I haven't seen the rosters, but on the All-Star team for the NBA. Jared Allen, I'm going over 3.5 assists for him against the Wizards. He's been getting a lot more run in the offense without Evan Mobley. So I like him to dish out a lot tonight against the lowly Wizards. And then Jalen Duran over 13.5 points for the Pistons against the Warriors tonight. This kid has actually been kind of one of the bright spots for the Pistons. I like what he's able to do for that offense. So I'm going to take over 13.5 there for minus 140. Sorry, I didn't say the Jarrett Allen play was minus 150. So some of them are a little more juicier than others. Some of them you can take straight if you want to put any of those together, get a little bit of plus money juice. Definitely go for that. But that is what I am rocking with tonight, Gare.
I like it. Got
Hell yeah, brother.
a lot of shit in this episode. I hope that everybody stayed alive during it all. I know it's a lot. But now that I am interning for Big Dog Media and for Unbettable, I'll be making sure to keep these more summarized, posting them on Twitter. So if you guys do kind of fade in and out like me, they will be there for you guys to look at. Heart, take us away. Take us home.
Absolutely. Let's do it, Gare. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Unbettable. Again, like Garrett said, thanks for sticking with us. It was a long episode. There was a lot of information to go through, but hopefully a lot of good information to help you play some smart and good bets for this weekend. Let's make some money. Let's do this. Let's do this shit, Garrett. Come on now, boy.
Do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. But if you like the pod, definitely please like, share, subscribe, share it out to all of your friends. Want to grow this as much as possible. We love getting to do this weekly with the boys, getting to give out good picks and have fun along the way. So for now, we will see you on Monday. Gare,
Peace
have
out.